It's called boxed in, like a box and something's boxed in or you're hemmed in. And I'm going to really unpack this poem for you because it's powerful. I saw a man with no teeth, and he smiled at me. I bumped into a woman with no feet. She crawled to me. I hugged a child with no arms. We laughed until I cried. A blind man called to me. Why couldn't I see where he was calling from? A homeless man cursed at me. Afterward, he and I shared his beer. A streetwalker propositioned me. I replied, thank you, but no thank you. Then named the street after her. Some Americans are boxed in. Some people are like me. Some are like them. Let me share with you the sheer majesty of this poem. This poem is written in what is called couplets. It's 2 lines. Then there's a space, 2 lines all the way through. There are no end rhymes in this. I saw a man with no teeth. He smiled at me. How many of us have seen the TV commercials for dental services? And people were, I was ashamed, because of my teeth. And then when they got their teeth worked on, and then all of a sudden now I've got this bright, radiant smile. Imagine a man with no teeth and he looks at you and still has the willingness to smile at you. That's profound to me. I bumped into a woman with no feet, and she crawled to me. Despite the fact that she had no feet, she still wanted to engage me, to talk to me. And wow, instead of trying to scoot away. This is one of the ones of these couplets that I really love. Imagine this. I hugged a child with no arms. We laughed. I mean, this child with no arms, most of us would be in some form of depression or discouragement or want to be sheltered from the world. But me and this child could laugh. And I was the one that cried. Not the child. I have my arms, but I cried. I think that that's profound. A blind man called to me. This man can't see, but he detected that I was nearby. Why couldn't I see where he was? I can see, but I hear him, but I can't find him, and I can see. Here's another one I like. A homeless man cursed at me. Afterward, he and I shared his beer, not my beer. I didn't go buy a beer for him. I had enough humanity in me that I was willing to sit down with him and share where's his mouth been? This is a beer. Where did he get this beer? Maybe it was a beer out of the trash can. But no, I sat down with him, humbled my humanity, and I shared his beer. And this next one, thank you, poetry gods. A streetwalker, a prostitute propositioned me. Hey, young man, come here. I replied, I didn't rob her of her dignity. That's what she had to offer. That's what she was selling. I said, thank you, but no thank you. I know my wife would appreciate that. I said, thank you. I acknowledge her, but no thank you. I don't do that. I don't participate in that kind of behavior. And then the next line says, then name the street after her. The profundity of that. Sure, I didn't go out and change the street name, but in my mind, that will always be her street. So I lifted her from where people might look down on her. And then the poem ends this way. Some Americans are boxed in. All these people that I described are what we would call, who don't go through those things, that they're somehow boxed in, and they're Americans. Some people are like me. I'm boxed in. How often do I smile at a man with no teeth, or walk by a woman with no feet, or the guy says, would you like a beer? I was over a friend's house a couple of years ago, and they have a 3-year-old. And I was sitting in the living room, and the 3-year-old walked up and was standing by the, leaning on the wall. The 3-year-old said, would you like a beer? The way she did it, I was like, what do you know about beer? And you didn't offer me a glass of water, a soda? You offered me a beer? And so the poem is called Boxed In, and I just think that that's profound. And so how does this relate to our scarlet blue wounds? There are people living in life with wounds, and those wounds are bruised blue. There have been people who have been harmed that have bled red. I just thought that was a profound poem.